real funky, y'all. But I think I'm gonna need a little help from the horn section. Is that all right? Yeah. And that goes a little something like this. Here we go. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Here we go. Na 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 na.
So question 1. Which recording artist sung about Jolene in 1973? So which recording artist sung about Jolene in 1973? Question 2. What was the name of the song by Coolio that was used in the film Dangerous Minds? So what was the name of the song by Coolio that was used in the film Dangerous Minds? Number 3, what did Tears for Fears say everybody wanted to rule in the 80s, according to that was used in the film Dangerous Minds? So what was the name of the song by Coolio that was used in the film Dangerous Minds? Number 3, what did Tears for Fears say everybody wanted to rule in the 80s, according to their song? What did Tears for Fears say everybody wanted to rule in the 80s? Number 4, Principal McGee, Coach Calhoun, and Vince Fontaine were secondary characters in which 70s musical? So Principal McGee, Coach Calhoun, and Vince Fontaine were secondary characters in which 70s musical? Number 5, Simon Pegg and Nick Frost starred in which science fiction comedy about an escaped alien? So Simon Pegg and Nick Frost starred in which science fiction comedy about an escaped alien? Number 6, which 70s TV show was based around two detectives from the Flying Squad? For those of you not in the UK, Flying Squad, it's part of the Metropolitan Police in London, so they're known as the Flying Squad. So which 70s TV show was based around two detectives from the Flying Squad? Number 7, John Fashanu and Ulrika Johnson were the original presenters on which physical-based game show? Love that growing up as a kid. So John Fashanu and Ulrika Johnson were the original presenters on which physical-based game show? That and the Krypton Factor. They don't make sort of those kind of shows anymore, do they? Used to love the Krypton Factor. Number 8, Lady Gaga and which other artist perform the current single Rain on Me? So Lady Gaga and which other artist perform the current single Rain on Me? Number 9, which song title links Leo Sayer and Queen? I'll clarify, it's not the same, it's the song title. They've not both recorded cover versions of the same song, but they both have a song title that links both Leo Sayer and Queen. And finally then, for your entertainment, number 10, Ant and Dec presented which Saturday morning children's TV show? So Ant and Dec presented which Saturday morning children's TV show? Train. There you go, Dave. If you're listening, train. It's on time. I was having a conversation with someone who lives in Darwin who said that he could, when he heard the train going by in the background, because the microphone picks it up, at least he knows the trains are on time. Okay. Round 2 is around the world. Obviously, as you've seen in the live chat, we've got a lot of people from around the world. So I've picked 10 questions, sort of geography, but sort of things from around the world. Starting with question number 1. Which is further north, Manchester or Leeds? So which is further north, Manchester or Leeds? Question 2. The coastline of Azerbaijan is on which sea? So the coastline of Azerbaijan is on which sea? Number 3. The Kingdom of Tonga is in which ocean? So the Kingdom of Tonga is in which ocean? Number 4. How many countries share a border with North Korea? You don't have to name them, but how many countries share a border with North Korea? Number 5. What does Cyprus, Malaysia, Japan, and the UK all have in common? So what does Cyprus, Malaysia, Japan, and the UK all have in common? I'm not saying that's a clue. I realised the other day when I do physical pub quizzes, when I've got audience in front of me, I tend to give away far too many clues. But on here, I've not really given that many clues away, other than giving away the answers. Number 6, Waverley train station can be found in which UK city? So Waverley train station can be found in which UK city? Number 7. Starting in Germany, what is Europe's second longest river? So starting in Germany, what is Europe's second longest river? Number 8. In which country would you find the world's largest railway station by platforms? It's actually in the Guinness World Record as well, which I didn't realise. But in which country would you find the world's largest railway station by platforms? Number 9. What was Italy's currency before the euro? So what was Italy's currency before the euro? And finally, number 10. In which country would you find Christ the Redeemer statue? So in which country would you find Christ the Redeemer's statue? Okay, so it's just your picture round to come before we take a short break. It's all general knowledge on the picture round, and I've remembered to make sure that it says the right thing across the top if you've got me on mute and looking at something else. So don't worry, if you look at the top, it will give you what we're looking for. We start then with, it says that now, and then I've probably missed one, but there we go. Starting with number 1. Name the game series. So name the game series. I always give you an extra couple of seconds on these ones because they are pictures. Number 2. Who is this? So who is this? Number 3, name the superhero. So name the superhero. Number 4, I think a lot of people have been using this recently, but name the video conferencing app. Stroke software. So name the video conferencing app. Joke the other day that I don't think many people would have heard of them before the lockdown, but yeah, it's one of the most popular ones now. Number 5, name the card game. I know there's 3 possible answers you could use. I think I've got all 3. So name the card game. Number 6, name the city. Excuse me, name the city for number 6. Just looking to make sure I hadn't left a clue on there. No, I don't think I did. Number 7, name the biscuit. Name the biscuit for number 7. Number 8, name the TV show. Name the TV show for number 8. Number 9, name the airline. Name the airline from that tail fin. And finally, number 10, name this person's husband. So name this person's husband. Okay, so that's your first 30 questions then of tonight. If you've missed any you're not sure of, anyone sort of just to double check the questions before we give you the answers, Alex is over on Twitter and on Instagram, so he'll 1. So which recording artist sung about Jolene, Jolene, Jolene? It was the wonderful Dolly Parton. Number 2, what was the name of the song by Coolio that was used in the film Dangerous Minds? It was Gangsta's Paradise. I've attempted that on karaoke before, it's not good. Number 3, what did Tears for Fears say everybody wanted to rule in the 80s? They wanted them to rule the world. Number 4, Principal McGee, Coach Calhoun and Vince Fontaine were secondary characters in which 70s musical? There was Grease. I had a different one in number 3, and instead of Vince Fontaine, I had somebody else in, and then realised when I went back and did some research that those 3 were also in Grease too, so I didn't want to cause any confusion. So yeah, they were just all in Grease. Number 5, Simon Pegg and Nick Frost starred in which science fiction comedy about an escaped alien? It was Paul. Number 6, which 70s TV show was based around 2 detectives from the Flying Squad? It's the Sweeney. Cockney rhyming slang for Flying Squad. Sweeney Todd. Number 7, John Fashanu and Ulrika Johnson were the original presenters in which physical-based game show? It was The Gladiators. You will go on my first wish. That's an awful Scottish accent. We'll stop that. Number 8, Lady Gaga and which other artist performed the current single Rain on Me? It's Ariana Grande. Number 9, which song title links Leo Sayer and Queen? It is The Show Must Go On. They recorded their own different versions of that. And finally, number 10, Anton Deck presented which Saturday morning children's TV show? SMTV Live. I will give you a point if you've put, and you've gone really retro and you've put CD UK, but I will SMTV. So SMTV Live was the answer I was looking for, but I know obviously they presented CD UK as well with Cat Dealey. Round 2, so it was around the world. Which is further north, Manchester or Leeds? It is Leeds. Number 2, the coastline of Azerbaijan is on which sea? It's the Caspian Sea. Number 3, the Kingdom of Tonga is in which ocean? It's the Pacific Ocean. Number 4, how many countries share a border with North Korea? There are 3. So obviously you've got the main one with South Korea, the biggest one with China, and then also Russia as well. Number 5, what do Cyprus, Malaysia, Japan and the UK have in common? They all drive on the left. If you saw my clue, then you might have got that. Number 6, Waverley train station can be found in which UK city? It's Edinburgh. Number 7, starting in Germany, what is Europe's second longest river? It is the Danube. Number 8, in which country would you find the world's largest railway station by platforms? It is in the USA. For those of you who want to know, it's 44 platforms. It's Grand Central Station in New York. Number 9, what was Italy's currency before the euro? It's the lira. And finally, number 10, in which country would you find Christ the Redeemer statue? It is Brazil. Your picture around then. Number 1, name the game series. It's Mario Kart. Number 2, who is this? It's England captain, England ladies captain, Steph Houghton. Number 3, name the superhero. It's Green Lantern. Number 4, name the video conferencing app or software. It's Zoom. Question 5, name the card game. So I know it's one of these 3. So you've got Solitaire, Klondike or Patience, depending on regional versions, etc. I know it as Solitaire. I know it's also known as Klondike and Patience as well. So if you've gone with one of those 3 answers, you can have the point. Number 6, name the city. It's back again. It's New York. And after I set all these slides up last night, I realised that the original picture I'd used had a big, massive sign in the middle of the train that said, "Welcome to New York." Number 7, name the biscuit. It's a Jammy Dodger. Number 8, name the TV show. It is Made in Chelsea. Number 9, name the airline. It's British Airways. And finally, number 10. Name this person's husband. It is Marvin Humes, because that is Rochelle Humes. Okay, so that is your first part of the quiz. That's the wrong one. That's the one I wanted. That's your first part of the quiz. So I'll give you a minute just so that you can tot up your scores so far, see how you're getting on. If you're playing against family or what have you in the same house, then you can share your pass your sheets back, etc. Yeah, interesting 30 questions so far. So 20 questions to come. So it's a books round then to start. Wendy, John and Michael were the children in which book? So Wendy, John and Michael were the children in which book? Number 2, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy originally started on Radio 4 as a comedy. True or false? So, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy originally started on Radio 4 as a comedy. True or false? Number 3, who wrote the 50 Shades book series? Who wrote the 50 Shades book series? Number 4, Sue Townsend wrote The Secret Diary of whom? So Sue Townsend wrote The Secret Diary of whom? Number 5, who wrote the non-fiction book The Man in the White Suit? So who wrote the non-fiction book The Man in the White Suit? Number 6, David Walliams wrote a children's book about what type of granny? So David Walliams wrote a children's book about what type of granny? Number 7, launched in 1991, what was the name given to the young... Start again. Launched in 1991, what was the name given to the young adult horror fiction book series? So launched in 1991, what was the name given to the young adult horror fiction book series? Number 8, who wrote Dracula? Number 9, Colin Armstrong writes books under what pseudonym? So Colin Armstrong writes books under what pseudonym? And finally, number 10. In The Worst Witch, what is the name of the school? So in the book series, The Worst Witch, what is the name of the school? Okay, general knowledge then to finish off tonight, 10 questions. We start then general knowledge with this. Number 1, which British soap will broadcast its last episodes for a while on Tuesday next week? I believe they've run out of them. So which British soap will broadcast its last episodes for a while on Tuesday next week? Number 2, which male sprinter currently holds the world record in the 100 metres, 200 metres and 4x100 metre relay? So which male sprinter currently holds the world record in the 100 metre, 200 metre and 4x100 metre relay? Number 3, in the phonetic alphabet, In the phonetic alphabet, what represents the letter Q? So in the phonetic alphabet, what represents the letter Q? Number 4, Eduardo Saverin, Dustin Moskovich, and Andrew McCullum were some of the co-founders of which social network? So Eduardo Saverin, Dustin Moskovitz, and Andrew McCullum were some of the co-founders of which social network? Number 5, what does the Latin magna cum laude translate into English? So what does the Latin magna cum laude translate into English? Number 6, flop, turn and river are terms in which card game? So flop, turn and river are terms in which card game? Number 7, which tech brand makes the S and the Note mobile phones? So which tech brand makes the S and Note mobile phones? Number 8, which of these motorways does not directly connect to the M25? So which of these motorways does not directly connect to the M25? The M1, the M4, or the M1, the M4 or the M6? So which of these motorways does not directly connect to the M25? The M1, the M4 or the M6? Okay, so your final 2 questions have, as you've probably seen across Facebook and social media today, they're brought to you by the guys at Chewits. They've made a great donation to the Diana Awards, so thank you very much for that. And they've also put a competition up on their Facebook page as well, which if you're waiting for that key phrase, I will give that to you after these 2 questions. So number 9, and it's multiple choice. Which British town's bus depot was made famous in the 1983 Chewits TV advert? Was it Weston-super-Mare or was it Barrow-in-Furness? Saw a comment on Facebook earlier, someone saying that was one of the facts they knew. So, which British town's bus depot was made famous in the 1983 Chewits TV advert? Weston-super-Mare or Barrow-in-Furness? And finally then, question 10. According to industry data, what is the most popular Chewits flavour? Is it A, strawberry, or B, fruit salad? So according to industry data, what is the most popular Chewits flavour? A, strawberry, or B, fruit salad? Which of those is your final answer? And okay, that is your quiz for this evening. So as I mentioned, Chewits have got a competition on behalf of us on their Facebook page. They'll be doing tomorrow. Part of the quiz tonight, right? So number 1, Wendy, John and Michael were the children in which book? It was Peter Pan. Number 2, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy originally started on Radio 4 as a comedy. True or false? It is true. Number 3, who wrote the 50 Shades book series? It was E.L. James. Number 4, Sue Townsend wrote The Secret Diary of Adrian Mole. Number 5, who wrote the non-fiction book The Man in the White Suit? It was Ben Collins. He wrote about his time being the Stig and all of his other racing bits and pieces. Number 6, David Walliams wrote a children's book about what type of granny? It was Gangster Granny. Number 7, launched in 1991. What was the name given to the young adult horror fiction book series? It was Point Horror. Number 8, who wrote Dracula? It was Bram Stoker. Number 9, Colin Armstrong writes books under what pseudonym? It's Chris Ryan. And number 10, in The Worst Witch, what is the name of the school? It's Miss Cackle's Academy for Witches. Got a very annoyed person in the room who didn't know that by the sounds of it. Your general knowledge, which British soap will broadcast its last episode for a while on Tuesday next week? It's EastEnders. It's going off air after Tuesday. Number 2, which male sprinter currently holds the world record in the 100 metres, 200 metres and 4-way 100 metre relay? It is, of course, Usain Bolt. Number 3, in the phonetic alphabet, what represents the letter Q? It's Quebec. Number 4, Eduardo Saverin, Dustin Moskovich and Andrew McCullum were some of the co-founders of which social network? It was Facebook. Number 5, what does the Latin magna cum laude translate into English? It is with great praise. Number 6, flop, turn and river are terms in which card game? It's Texas Hold'em Poker. Number 7, which tech brand makes the S and the Note mobile phones? It is Samsung. Number 8, which of these motorways does not directly connect to the M25? The M1, the M4 or the M6? It's the M6 because that connects into the M1 and then the M1 connects directly into the M25. Your answers to your Chewits questions, your multiple choice. Number 9, which British town's bus depot was made famous in the 1983 Chewits TV advert? It was Barrow-in-Furness. Well done to the gentleman on Facebook who guessed that that was going to be a question and an answer before we'd even started the quiz tonight. So well done to you. I've liked your comment on there. And number 10, according to industry data, what is the most popular Chewits flavour? It is strawberry. And if you want the phrase again that you'll need for tomorrow's Chewits quiz, it is that one. It is, I like to chew it. That's your quiz. I've got your tiebreaker coming up shortly, and then the Facebook shout-outs to finish it off. as always, nearest to it gets the point. How many calories are there in a single chewit? Now, it's there is a decimal point in there, just to pre-warn you. So how many calories are there in a single chewit? Not including the extreme ones as well. It's just the standard, the strawberry, the fruit salad. So I'll give you 20 seconds to jot an answer down if you need the tie-break question. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The answer is, it's 11.8. So whoever got nearest to that in your teams, if you needed that as your tiebreaker, that is your point and your winning score for this evening. So how have you got on tonight? Let us know, as always, across social media. Alex said to me a little bit